The greatest comeback in UFC history, a promotion boss Dana White gave fans a grand gift. He announced a fight between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. The long-awaited return of Notorious is coming. The Irishman delighted us with his fights back in 2021, so the motivated Chandler looks like a serious favorite. In this video, I will tell you why McGregor will follow a fiasco, then return to the world of cinema. Be sure to watch until the end. Hope it will be very interesting. Chandler and McGregor will fight at UFC 303 in late June, and by tradition, the favorite of this fight is, of course, Conor McGregor. It looks like a strange, don't you think? Why does an athlete who has only one victory in the last 6 years enter the fight as a favorite? Perhaps something has changed in the UFC world, and now to be a favorite, sporting achievements are not taken into account, but activity in media is taken into account. Guys, this is a very alarming situation. To understand it, please be sure to share your opinion in the comments. It will be very interesting for me and others to read. In total, McGregor has 28 fights in mixed martial arts, in which he won 22 victories and suffered 6 defeats. Chandler has 23 victories in MMA with 8 defeats. Both Conor and Michael lost to American Dustin Poirier in their last fights. I think Chandler will come into this fight with powerful motivation and will be able to finish Conor, but I'll tell you about it a little later. And so back to the Irishman. McGregor has long forgotten the taste of blood in the octagon. Of the past 5 years, the Irishman has only defeated the elderly Donald "Cowboy" Cerrone, who by the time had passed his peak and was on the verge of retiring, and that victory raised questions among fans. The American gave up too quickly, and then came 2 defeats from Dustin Poirier, a severe leg fracture, and a long recovery from injury. It is unclear what psychological impact the terrible injury will have on McGregor. Former UFC champion Anderson Silva, who suffered a similar leg injury in 2013, never recovered from the fracture. 5 defeats in 6 fights forced him to end his MMA career. Judge for yourself. Conor did not fight for 3 years, underwent treatment for a long time, underwent rehabilitation, and acted in films. The Irishman also led a wild lifestyle, trained on a yacht, and only fought on the set of the film Roadhouse. Although it is still unknown what was more in the film, videos of McGregor fighting or footage of the Irishman's naked body. Dana White also added tension. He said that he was not at all confident in the return of McGregor, who had too much money and too little need to fight. Also, Conor stated that he is ready to hold 4 fights in 2024 and 8 more in 2025. This does not cause anything but a smile. The Irishman recently announced that he has started training camp ahead of his fight with Chandler. In the video from Conor's training, it is noticeable that he gets tired even after a couple of minutes of sparring. If anyone thinks that he is able to gain weight at the age of 35, he is very mistaken, and Chandler is able to fight back at a good pace for at least 1.5 rounds, which will be a big problem for Conor. The Irishman has become rusty in 3 years. It will take him some time to get used to the cage and the weight, where he hasn't fought since January 2020 and where he feels most insecure, as evidenced by his not so great win-loss record. Of course, sudden weight gain can have a positive effect on the situation, or will it make it worse? McGregor returns to the octagon as he could not leave MMA after 2 devastating defeats, but there is no smell of any motivation here. The Irish fighter said that filming is a very difficult process, but the financial success of Roadhouse can inspire Conor to new exploits in cinema, especially after he misses several tight blows from Chandler. On the other hand, can Conor land his big left in the first round? Certainly. Is Chandler's jaw strong? He lost 4 times by knockout and was seriously injured in fights with Gage and Poirier. At the time of UFC 303, the American will be 38 years old. Guys, I really like reading your comments and I'm happy to answer them. It brings me closer to my viewers and makes me feel important, and this is very inspiring and also has a positive effect on their promotion of the video. So don't be shy, write your predictions on how the battle will end. It will be very interesting for me and others to read. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, while Conor was engaged in a new direction of activity, Chandler managed to make his debut in the UFC fight for the belt with Charles Oliveira, where he almost won, through the fight of the year with Justin Gage, knocked out Tony Ferguson, and beat Dustin Poirier decently. Don't you agree? While McGregor was being treated, resting and busy filming, Chandler was fighting. Even if we take into account that Iron has not competed since November 2022, he is in better shape anyway. Michael trained constantly in anticipation of high-profile fight with Conor. The fighter has not lost his tone, and this means a lot for any sport. During the wait, Chandler managed to turn into a walking meme and an MMA analog of the famous dog WHITTAKER, since he was faithfully waiting for the announcement of the fight with Conor and did not fit in other fights. Last year, Chandler and McGregor appeared as coaches on their Ultimate Fighter. Iron looked like a real fighter, in excellent shape and with sparkling eyes. And Conor is a man who worked the day of filming and returned home to his wife and children and not to the gym. The American is an athlete, the Irishman is a showman. Chandler made good money, but he has a chance to provide for his family for the rest of his life. He didn't make much money in Bellator, even despite his championship credentials in the promotion. After moving to the UFC, Michael primarily increased his popularity and not his income from fights. The American began to receive more profitable offers from sponsors and began to condemn their dissatisfied. For me, I have been able to monetize things outside of just my fights. You'll always see guys on the microphone saying that the UFC should pay more, or the media should say the UFC should pay more, said Chandler. And it's never the guys who are out there having their own YouTube channel, getting roles in movies, building fitness and lifestyle programs, selling merchandise, doing all the different things that we can do as fighters because we're independent contractors. And Chandler is right. The promotion not only provides fighters with fees, but also promotes them. If you want to make money, there will always be opportunities, but Michael dreams of a fight with Conor for a reason. After all, meeting an Irishman promises very serious money. Dustin Poirier fought Conor twice and earned more than $10 million, including PPV, and rocked his Louisiana sauce brand. Chandler wants the same thing, so he agreed in advance to all the Irishman's conditions. If Conor had said that he wanted to fight in the light heavyweight limit, Iron would have agreed to these conditions. I think I was able to convey to you the whole mood and motivation of each fighter personally. I deservedly give the victory to Michael Chandler. because this guy has a specific goal for this fight, which will decide his future life, and it doesn't matter whether it's a knockout or a decision. Do you think Chandler deserves to win? Write your opinion in the comments. It will be very interesting for me and others to read. McGregor and Chandler understand that they have no title prospects in the welterweight division. Both will come out for the check. But for one person, this is just another way to get a check, and for another, it's the main fight in life that he has always dreamed of. Stay safe, stay tuned. I am recording. Bye bye. Condemn there to condemn the dissatisfied. Credentials.